What if everything we thought we knew about the ocean was wrong? When a fisherman caught what appeared to be a mermaid, the real shock wasn't the capture, it was what the creature did next. How can a being that science cannot classify behave with such intent, such awareness, such uncanny precision? And if one surfaced, how many more are watching from below? These questions aren't myths anymore. Because in this footage, everything you're about to see was caught on camera. The siren no sailor expected. The creature recorded that day defied every expectation of resembling a human. Yet the figure rising from the waves stood with a haunting balance, displaying golden amber fins and a pale upper form that made seasoned fishermen stumble in disbelief. Its arms locked to the deck like an athlete bracing for explosive motion. Its tail extended outward in a slow, deliberate sweep. Scales at its waist glimmered in patterns strikingly reminiscent of ancient Greek siren mosaics. Details, later verified when researchers matched the spine curvature seen in the footage with references long dismissed as symbolic fantasy. One sailor insisted the being lifted its head with the intent of something weighing whether to withdraw or challenge. No later account has replicated the tension of that instant. When the creature turned in the final captured moment, the surrounding water seemed to press inward, as if the sea itself acknowledged the significance of its appearance. The net-shaken enigma. Those who reviewed the recording never agreed on what moment disturbed them most. The instant the creature jerked upright or the sudden jolt of the vessel, as if reality itself resisted what had surfaced. Its tail carved sharp, forceful sweeps across the planks. Its upper body bent and rotated with unnervingly exact coordination. The pale underside, taut like damp hide, flashed between net fibers, while muscle groups contracted in patterns researchers later labeled structured. Resistance, a term chosen because the creature's movements appeared trained rather than instinctive. The heavy knock when its spine collided with the deck rang with an ancient, resonant finality. Every frame after that point feels less like accidental footage and more like a message delivered through movement. A signal suggesting something long hidden had re-entered the world. No viewer has described the footage without recalling that strange sensation of witnessing a warning rather than a struggle. The blur that broke the ropes. The first thing the camera captured was not a face or identifiable limb. It was a rapid blur thrashing with such force that the lens struggled to track what the fisherman had caught. The deck trembled beneath its weight. Coiled ropes snapped out of formation as elongated limbs lashed in alternating bursts, moving with an efficiency that suggested it wasn't merely resisting, it was engineered by nature to escape. Scientists who later analyzed slowed. Footage noted each muscle contraction occurred in staggered rhythms, a trait known only in organisms built to endure crushing pressures in deep ocean trenches. The fluid spraying from its skin wasn't standard seawater, but a thin, translucent secretion that evaporated instantly, leaving faint streaks along the deck. No explanation has been found for the sudden dimming in the footage the moment the creature rotated toward the camera, as though the lens instinctively recoiled from the recognition. The figure lifted by the mesh. For a single second in the footage, the creature's head rose through the netting, and the entire crew pulled back as though the air around them shifted. Vertical gill slits flared open along its neck, fingers extended like thin, bony fans. The exposed torso, layered in delicate plates, trembled with a deliberate rhythm researchers later compared to defensive habits, theorized for long-extinct marine reptiles, though no fossil record ever hinted at a throat, capable of forming a perfect widening ring. The net didn't restrain the creature. It framed it, outlining each shiver, as if presenting something no one was prepared to see. When its tail hooked around the railing, the breeze itself seemed to stall, as though responding to its presence. The scene ended with the creature tightening its body, as if bracing for a reaction and the crew would never have been ready to witness. The armor that awakened in the net. The footage begins with a startling sight. A creature rolling out of the net like a set of discarded plates, suddenly stirred by life, its segmented shell clattering across the deck as though crafted rather than born. Its tail moved in heavy, controlled arcs. The torso jerked in rigid pulses. Each vertebra shifted separately, creating a grinding resonance that analysts later described as mechanical expressed through organic structure, a term unsettling even among deep-sea specialists. Whatever this being was, it reacted to the open air with a tense, almost offended posture. Its head angled not in confusion, but in calculated assessment. The glossy moisture trickling between the plates evaporated immediately, leaving streaks like dark smudges on metal. The final second shows its chest lifting slowly, as if preparing for something beyond escape. Something larger, deliberate, and not meant for human eyes. The glass that revealed the drowned choir. Long before this recording existed, sailors spoke of melodies not meant for human ears. But no one believed those tales until a camera captured a formation of figures drifting in synchronized arcs outside a submerged window. One raised an arm in a slow spiral, another pressed a palm to the glass. Trails of bioluminescence glided along their tails like glowing script, echoing patterns found in ancient depictions of the Nereids. Guardians said to stand between worlds. Yet researchers insisted the motions resembled communication rather than ritual. Their faces showed no hostility. Instead, they carried a sharp, assessing focus, as though evaluating whoever dared observe them. For a suspended moment, only the surrounding current moved. Then one figure glided closer, meeting the camera with an expression so unmistakably intentional that viewers felt it had chosen to acknowledge the watcher. When the grip finally failed, the clip filmed in the chaos as fishermen struggled to contain the larger mermaid near the railings. Captures the exact second her fear sharpened into explosive fury. Under the beating rain, her scales shifted from deep blue to nearly black as every muscle along her torso tightened in desperate resistance. She snapped her coral-like teeth at the hands restraining her, twisting with a strength that made even seasoned crewmen recoil. Her skin shimmered with a glassy sheen, trembling like something torn from a world far deeper than humans were ever meant to enter. Scientists later noted stress lines across her shoulders and ribs, evidence she had been fighting long before surfacing. Even the men holding her arms flinched when her tail lashed hard enough to splinter wood, and in the final filmed moment, she raised her head slowly, as though choosing, calmly and deliberately, exactly who she intended to strike next. Maw of the shifting silver deep. This footage, captured just after fishermen wrestled the second mermaid free from a massive sturgeon, appeared so surreal that many believed it was staged until scientists validated every frame. The creature's throat expanded as it released a sound, swallowed instantly by wind, its needle-like teeth quivering with strain. Its silver torso rippled like hammered metal, flexing with frantic power as its claws dug into the fish beside it, using the weight for leverage to twist its body free. Its eyes, dark, fluid, and unblinking, fixed on the man in yellow with a focus that felt more like accusation than fear. The net strained under the pressure. The deck trembled. Beneath them, its body coiled into a form suited for crushing depths rather than the harsh brightness of the surface world. And in the last recorded heartbeat, its tail tightened like a drawn spring, ready to snap with unstoppable force, when the net struck back. This clip, filmed as fishermen attempted desperately to pin the creature down, shows the mermaid twisting with a force no one expected from something half human, half aquatic. Its scales overlapped like armored tiles, scraping loudly across the deck as it thrashed. Its throat widened into a circular maw filled with inward curved teeth, suited to dragging prey downward, not gasping under daylight while surrounded by shouting men. The fins along its ribs flared outward in trembling shock, giving it the silhouette of a deep-sea predator, never meant to meet the surface world. Scientists later concluded from pressure modeling that its body should not survive in open air. Yet the longer it remained exposed, the harder it fought. And in the final captured instant, the creature slammed its body sideways, twisting with sudden intent, as though choosing the net itself as the first thing it intended to destroy. The howl of the depth-born. When this moment was recorded, filmed as the creature writhed across the fog-slick deck, no one believed its expression could be real. The stretched lips, the expanding maw, the eel clamped between its teeth like a final rebellion against the surface world. Its armored scales shifted under the men's gloves as it twisted violently, every muscle straining against air it was never built to breathe. Its gills flared in frantic bursts, spraying seawater across the deck like a creature marking ground stolen from it. Scientists later identified bite power strong enough to shear cartilage, proving the creature wasn't in blind panic but deliberate resistance. Its pale eyes followed every movement with chilling concentration. And in the final filmed instant, its tail curled inward, like a whip, as though it had already selected exactly which captor it intended to strike. The breakout on the red deck. In this tumultuous footage, filmed during a fierce struggle on the red-painted deck, fishermen captured the mermaid dragging itself forward with a ferocity few believed a deep-sea organism could summon above water. Its jaw stretched open far wider than any human anatomy allowed, revealing 2 rows of inward curved teeth crafted for pulling prey into the depths. Its elongated fingers scraped deep lines into the metal floor as it tried to propel itself forward, despite the man gripping its hair. Scientists later noted that its spine bent beyond human tolerance, flexing in sharp arcs like a curved blade as it twisted to escape. Rain glazed its pale skin, making every muscle ripple under the light as if carved from instinctive terror. And in the final second, the creature raised one arm slowly, as though preparing a counterstrike no rope or net on that deck could hope to withstand. The net hoisted unknown. Before anyone utters a word, the creature's weight is already dragging the net downward, the filmed moment showing fishermen lifting a pale-bodied figure whose clenched jaw and half-focused eyes appear unsettlingly human. Boots scrape against the deck. Metal rattles, the being slumps sideways with a disturbing looseness that feels like utter exhaustion rather than lifelessness. Long fingers hook through the mesh, nails yellowed and sharp, while its smooth gray skin folds at the joints in a distinctly mammalian way. A detail scientists later examined frame by frame, shocked to find consistent, controlled articulation rather than the limp movements typical of marine life. As the men hesitate, the creature begins pulling its lips back in a slow, uncanny grin, revealing teeth arranged with unsettling precision, as though prepared for whatever may happen next. And in the final second, its eyelids rise just enough to suggest awareness rather than defeat. The rope-bound tideborne. The footage doesn't ease into view. It bursts into motion with fishermen dragging a shark-faced being across the soaked deck, filmed as its jaws open into a perfect oval, reminiscent of Polynesian Moa guardians, said to appear when boundaries between realms weaken. Ropes snap, rain pelts. Few could believe how rapidly its expression shifted. The creature's blue-gray torso flexes with startling precision, while its tail lashes beneath the net in sharp, pulsed bursts that scientists later analyzed, shocked by their similarity to territorial rituals performed by deep-sea hunters. Its single dark eye fixes upward with an intensity that feels less instinctual and more accusatory, as if it recognizes the silhouettes surrounding it. In the final film's second, it wrenches its body toward the camera with a clarity of purpose impossible to misread, an action that suggests it understands exactly who is watching. The storm deck containment struggle. What registers first in the clip is the speed at which the confrontation escalates. Fishermen wrestling with a sleek, blue-skinned creature whose frantic, coordinated movements seemed unbelievable until the footage spread globally. Its mouth snaps open in jagged bursts. Boots lose traction on the rain-soaked planks. The creature's long tail twists with such force it appears ready to yank the deck itself toward the sea. Its smooth torso contracts with alarming strength, while dark rib markings ripple each time the men tighten their grip. Details scientists examine frame by frame, stunned by the anatomical precision unmatched in known marine species. The creature's glassy eyes lock on the nearest face with an intensity that feels deliberate, as though committing it to memory. And just as the clip cuts, its tail arches sharply once more, a movement that implies preparation for something far greater than simple escape. The icebound sleeper unveiled. The recorded sequence begins in near-silent stillness, a translucent block of ice resting on snow, while the camera tilts to reveal a pale, smooth-skinned figure sealed within, its unfocused eyes and elongated fingers preserved with disquieting clarity. Frost spreads like fine veins across its chest. The world around it seems to pause. Even the breath of the researchers slows as they lean closer. The creature's limbs lie arranged too deliberately to be accidental, each joint relaxed rather than frozen stiff. a detail scientists later found impossible to reproduce with traditional freezing methods. Its faintly blue face reflects the light in a way that implies suspended consciousness rather than absence. And when a thin fracture forms near its ribs, spreading softly beneath the ice, the camera trembles slightly as if registering the quiet moment right before stillness becomes motion. The lumen gaze sentinel below. Filmed during a deep cave dive, the clip shows a beam of light sweeping across the sand before halting on a creature crouched protectively over something held in its arms. Its yellow eyes glowing with a fury reminiscent of Naga legends, describing guardians who dwell where humans should not tread. Water vibrates. Sediment lifts. The creature curls more tightly around the pale object it shields. Its scales shimmer beneath the wobbling beam, and the muscles along its arms tense with a readiness scientists later analyzed, shocked by the seamless fusion of human-like articulation and aquatic propulsion. Even the shape of its jaw, stretched in warning, mirrors carvings found in riverside temple myths, depicting beings that punished intrusion rather than fled from it. And as the light brightens, the creature raises its head, not in aggression, but in deliberate judgment. The frenzy of the golden tail. The footage begins mid-chaos, showing fishermen struggling as a shrieking creature with a golden-scaled tail thrashes violently across the storm-lashed deck. Its mouth stretched in a razor-line scream no one believed a living being could produce. Rain lashes sideways. Hands slip in soaked gloves. The man gripping its tail strains to maintain hold as each metallic scale flashes like shifting armor. The creature's torso convulses with alarming power, pale skin tightening around sharp rib contours while its long hair whips across its face, revealing red-ringed eyes locked on the nearest figure. Scientists later analyzed individual frames, stunned by the powerful musculature running through its tail, built for both speed and crushing force. The deck itself seems to vibrate under its frantic movement, and just when it seems subdued, the tail snaps upward once more, bending with a strength that makes clear the battle is far from finished. Baltic net scream phenomenon. The first shock in this leaked 2007 recording wasn't the creature at all. It was the net itself pulled so violently that it looked ready to testify against whoever dared haul it upward. Her jaw snapped wide mid-roar. Her spine bowed like a jolted cable. Gray-blue scales clung tightly along her ribs as though trying to retreat from the world capturing her on film. A chilling reminder that fishermen had dredged up something never meant to appear on any deck. What unsettled researchers most was her half-human torso, shaped uncannily like a woman drawn from icy waters, yet marked by shifting patches that pulsed with a rhythm older than marine charts, as though she carried a condition no one alive had a name for. Her claws pierced through the netting. Rain slid past her teeth. Lightning flashed against her slick tail. The boat suddenly felt too small for whatever she once was. How many more cries does the sea hide beneath its nets? Blue-grinning Gulf entity. You'd expect nothing filmed in bright daylight to feel threatening. Yet this 2025 Gulf of Mexico clip opens with a smile so unnatural, it startles viewers before they even notice the net beneath her. Her teeth gleam too, uniformly. Her skin glows an uncanny shade of blue. Her eyes widen with the strange cheer of someone greeting guests during a storm, as though she knew fishermen had caught her on camera and wanted the world to question why she wasn't afraid. Marine engineers later noted how her tail moved beneath the ropes, smooth, calculated, almost curious, suggesting she was observing the crew as deliberately as researchers study wildlife, flipping the usual dynamic with disarming ease. Her fingers mapped the net as if memorizing escape points. Her shoulders rolled with practiced grace. Her smile never faded. Even the waves seemed to draw back from her. What kind of being smiles first, then decides when to strike? Suspended presence of Nunovac. The 2024 Nunovac Island footage offers no gentle introduction. The creature drops into view like something remembering it should not still exist. Her eyes appear clouded, her jaw pulled back from uneven teeth, her torso sagging within the mesh as if even gravity hesitated to touch her. Researchers later described the effect as biologically contradictory, yet impossible to dismiss due to the uninterrupted nature of the recording. When analysts paused on her purple mottled skin, they noted patterns resembling a mix of extreme cold damage, and faint bioluminescent residue, as though she had emerged from a depth where light nearly freezes, yet somehow clings to those who survive it. Her neck gives a sharp twitch, her ribs expand in uneven intervals, her fingers tighten as if still clawing at the deep. Even the fisherman's voice drops instinctively. What kind of cold world shapes something that can scream without making a sound? In the end, every encounter in this video reminds us of a truth the ocean has never spoken aloud: that its depths are not empty and its silences are not hollow. What we captured today is only a fraction of what moves beneath the waves, watching, waiting, choosing when to be seen. If these revelations left you with more questions than answers, that's exactly where discovery begins. Stay curious, stay alert, and don't look away from what the world tries to dismiss. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss the next uncovering of what hides below.